My name is Thomas Regan. I'm a professional investor here in Australia. Over the last 6 years, I've built quite a large property portfolio. Started from $45,000 and now the portfolio is worth well over $3.5 million. Now, today I just wanted to talk about one of the things that will make your life a whole lot easier if you are thinking about investing, and that is increasing your income. It is, I would suggest, if you're thinking about investing, and this is the truth, you can invest on any income, but and it's good to start on a small income, because then you will realize what is possible instead of starting on a big income. Sometimes people are still on big incomes and they think that investing is not possible because either they've just become so accustomed to that income, or for whatever reason, I don't understand. But seriously, you can invest as in property with as little as $50,000, no problem. And you can, you have save money to invest with that income as well. It's totally possible, right? So do not get disheartened if you're making $50,000. But this video is about if you want to take your income up a level, then you can do these things and consider these things. Now, so whatever your capabilities are, whatever your skills are, if you want to increase your income within that, I suggest looking for jobs not only in your area but far out of your area. And the sad thing is, you might have to travel 2 or 4 extra hours a day just to get to that job and get paid. The reason you would broaden your search, right, is because you're looking for, within your skills, you're looking for jobs that are paying higher, right? And if you broaden your search, you will be able to find jobs that are paying higher, okay? For example, I live on the Northern Beaches, Sydney, Australia. If I look for a construction job around here, I have a very small number of jobs I could do, and they are not paying very good at all, okay? So I wanted to earn more money, so I broadened my search to the whole of Sydney. Now, I do piling. I'm a piling labourer and machine operator, and quite literally anyone can do that job. But the good part about it is it pays. I get 170 grand a year from that job, and it just seems crazy to me. Like, anyone could do it. The only thing you need to do is broaden your search and be willing to travel, and also be willing to work hard. Okay, so that's the drawback. Also, and on that note, also, if you are wanting a higher income, you have to be willing to put in the hours. It's not when you are making that much money, or when you want to make more money, it's about what's needed, what you need to do, not what you need, right? And what I mean by that is, like, forget your weekends, like, forget going to dinner with friends after work. Like, if you are required to work, right? Because you are going to get paid for it. And that's just, like, the point is, like, these are the sacrifices you have to make if you want to make more income. A lot of people think it is not possible to go from 50 to 150K. And a lot of people think there's no jobs out there that you can make good money. But there are, you just have to look for them. Another thing I wanted to mention, like, I started with looking for jobs that are within your skill set. I would suggest, if there are no jobs within your skill set that are paying as much money as you want, or more money than you are currently making, then look for jobs that you could easily do that are paying that amount of money. For example, as I said, I work in construction as a labourer. Anyone can do it, right? So I met a guy, and he told me, he was also a labourer in construction. He told me he was making $60 an hour, and at the time I was making like about $30 an hour as a fully qualified chef. So I kind of thought that was crazy, right? So I said to him, how did you find this job? And he said, well, I work for a union company. And I said, what's a union? And he said, oh, it's a construction union, CFMEU. Just if you're looking for a job, search EBA rates, right? So I started searching for all these jobs, and then I found them. And they were essentially the same as the job that I was doing, as I was working construction for a while. I was a chef as well. I was doing two jobs, right? But I met this guy in a chef position. He was the kitchen hand and he was working construction. He was also doing two jobs, right? So at the time I was working construction, I was making 80K a year, and I thought that was good money, okay? And this guy came along and told me he was making 60 bucks an hour. And then I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Okay, how do you go about that? He told me what to search for. That's all I had to do. I just had to search for a different keyword to find a job that was paying higher. Went from working construction, getting paid 80 grand a year, to working construction, getting paid over 150K a year. It wasn't, the job wasn't any harder. In fact, it was actually easier. I just had to look and find that job, okay? One thing is I had to travel further, okay? The hours were longer as well, but I don't work double the amount of hours each week. I used to work I used to work actually I used to work 50 hours a week. Now I work 55 hours a week and I get paid double as much. So I think it's a pretty good deal. But the point of this video is, it's easy to make more money. You just need to think a little bit creatively, think out of the box, and it's totally possible. See you guys next time. Bye.